Hello and welcome to the United Community Channel. This is your match reaction for Burnley versus Manchester United. 1-0 win to United. We'll take the 3 points and run and all the rest of it, but I don't really think it was a good performance. But anyway, look, we've got the usual guys on. Ben and Chris are with us as normal. Appreciate it, guys. Any other official channel members, guys, if you do want to come on with us at any stage, even throughout this live, the link is on the community tab on the YouTube page. Go check it out. If you're not an official member and you want to come on with us, link is in the description. Click the link, join, and then go click the link on the community tab. Well, what do you think?
It's a victory. That's about all you can say about it. I mean, it's
You talk amongst yourselves there now. I'm going to eat a bun.
I honestly think that having Johnny Evans in the back in the center, I think he organized a lot more than we have. Because like you said, we talked about before, I don't think Lindelof's the very vocal, he's more of a follower, know. Yeah. And I don't know if Lindelof and Martinez, I don't know if Martinez speaks enough English good enough to organize like that. So I think
just tells us to fuck off.
Yeah. I think that having Evans is having him back there is a very good thing, because I think he keeps everybody in place like Braun would, Yeah. And I'll be honest, Evans plays some nice balls. Like,
got a real bit of experience. What did you make of it, Ben? Obviously, from glazed eyes after having a few beers, but
I did think we were too slow at the back tonight, distributing the ball. Look at Onana. How long did he have the ball? Just stood there with ball.
Jesus, drove me mental, so I did.
You can pass it.
Is that something that you worry about? Like, is it like, I'm all for this kind of possession retention and United dictating the tempo of games and stuff like that, but if Andre Onana is holding onto the ball for 45 seconds when when Casemiro's screaming for it. Casemiro actually at one stage dropped into the right back position looking for it. And he was just, will I go there? Will I go there? Will I go there? Will I go there? I was like, will you just make up your fucking mind?
Yeah, same as you're playing, isn't it, though? If you're playing the top teams and you want to keep the ball, you understand it, but it's Burnley. Get the ball played and get on the attack.
Exactly.
I think guys are still wondering how to, when he has the ball, it's like, he's watching them and they're watching him. It's like, what are you going to do? And then he's looking at him going, well, what are you going to do? And it's like, well, someone do something. Just like, But, I mean, again, our midfield we don't play through the midfield.
Look, let's start with the defense because it's, sorry. We're so professional here on the United Community Channel. Well, let's start with the defense. Clean sheet, first and foremost. I mean, I made a TikTok before, about 10 minutes before we came on, when I found out that Johnny Evans was starting, going, I think we could be in bother here. But it turns out that he was probably man of the match. I think he actually did get the official man of the match.
I thought it was Bruno.
Or maybe it was Bruno. Sorry. I think it could have been Bruno. You're right. But Johnny Evans wasn't far off it. I mean, I know it's Burnley and all of that, and you have to take everything with a pinch of salt, but do you think it's something that we can build on? I know it's only one game, but we've got a clean sheet. Is that our first clean sheet of the season, by the way?
Yeah, I think it's something we can build on.
Yeah.
I think it's something definitely you can build on. You can always build on a win. I mean, you can tell everybody's trying to play Holland the ball a little bit, Hoyland the ball a little bit more. Everybody's getting used to him a little bit more, playing that number 9, with his back to goal. Like Rashford even had moments where he's trying to get him the ball. They're trying to get him moving and going and everything. And like you said, Rashford needs to pick his head up and play Casemiro in. But
yeah, I
mean, it's that fine line. If he shoots and scores, no one says anything about Casemiro run. So it's hindsight 2020, and everything like that. But I mean, I still think we're never going to be a possession team when you have McTominay in the squad. I'm sorry. I mean, unless we're playing Charlton or someone from, the third division, we're just not going to be a possession team. Because how many times did you say he had a bad first touch? pretty much
Oh,
every
God.
time he got the ball.
He had
I
a
mean,
bad first touch more often than he had a good first touch.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean he's a liability. I mean I got to give it to Hannibal. Hannibal put in a shift. I mean that guy was everywhere, left, right, chasing the ball, pressuring. I like it. Now the question is, I mean I'm kind of fearful what happens now when everybody starts coming back. Does he get back of the bench, or or
Yeah,
does
well,
he?
I think he showed today his worth as a squad member at bare minimum.
Mhm.
I think he'll be thereabouts now. Look, will he play an awful lot of games once? I mean, the midfield is jam packed. You would have to say, when everybody is fit. So, but I think he'll get game time. I mean, the likes of him, Kobe Mainu, who else is there? Oh no, not Iqbal. Sorry, I'm playing Football Manager in my head now. I was playing that today. I got Iqbal in the midfield.
You got Amrabat, you got
Amrabat, Mount, all of these guys.
Yeah.
But the big worry for me now is, right, and I go to you on this one, Ben. What in the name of divine God do we do if Reguilon is going to be missing for a few games?
I think we'll have to play Lindelof at right back, won't we?
We'll have to play Lindelof at right back, won't we?
Lindelof at right back, Dalot at left back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
I think the good thing is, though, Varane's back, so at least we'll have somebody there to organise it, like you say, that what we need.
Yeah.
I mean, what about Alvaro Fernandez? Did he go? He didn't go out on loan.
Did he not go on loan?
I don't think so.
All right, okay.
Well, I mean, I have to look at it, but I don't remember him going out on loan.
Yeah. Well,
I remember they were talking about him possibly in the first couple games.
Right, okay.
So maybe, I mean, Alvaro. I mean, is he my first choice? No, but it's what we have. So
yeah, absolutely.
You kind of have to go with it. I think he's just he's gonna be a bit of Brandon Williams. He's gonna be young. He's a little slight, and so he's. Why are we
getting so many injuries? Is it a long preseason? Is it the fact that I was going to say, is it the fact that we've had a long season last year as well, and a long preseason, but Reguilon wasn't with us for preseason or last season. Highland wasn't with us last season or preseason. Amrabat wasn't with us last season or preseason. And all of these players are getting injured. What the fuck is going on?
It's a good question. I mean, for the guys that were there last season, I just think it's part of, as we say, we played more games than anybody else in the world. And it takes a toll. But I mean, you look at guys, I mean, knock on wood, Rashford's not getting hurt, but he credit to him the beginning of last season, he put himself in the tip. He made an effort to be in the best shape possible.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if that's true for everybody else. Maybe they took too long of breaks, or didn't do anything in the time that they had off, or, I mean, it's perplexing. It's bad. I mean, I'm just hoping the injury bug starts hitting all the other teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. We do what they done to Michael Jordan for the playoffs, where they ordered a pizza to his room and just like spiked it with a lot of laxative.
But he still came back and
he still played. Yeah. There's the difference. Let me get down through some of these comments here. Oshin says Rashford is now 26, 27. Can his style be trained out of him at this point? I think he's only 25, I think
he's 26.
Is he? Maybe he's 26. Okay. Stephen says Rashford is frustrating. Edward says no matter how scrappy that result was, so badly needed, and a clean sheet can build on that. A decent run going. Not impressed at all with McTominay's performance. Bemused as to why subs weren't used. Let's talk about it while it's been mentioned. Why? I'll ask you first, Ben. Like, what is going on with Ten Hag and substitutions? Why isn't he making them?
I don't have a clue. That's another thing. That could be part of the injury problems as well. Players aren't getting the rest, are they? Not necessarily just to playing, but if you're playing 90 minutes, it's going to take its toll, isn't it?
Yeah. That's a good point. It's something I never thought about. But like, you would think, obviously, say in the game against Bayern during the week, you would say, right, we're down to bare bones. We've got, probably the strongest team out. then okay, let's try and keep the strongest team on the field. But today, our bench, probably half of our bench were good enough to play ahead of maybe half of the team that were playing. I was a bit bemused why maybe he didn't make changes.
It's like Casemiro. Look at his age. He's played 90 minutes for Bayern, played 90 minutes tonight. He's going to play 90 minutes next week.
Yeah,
it'll catch up with him eventually, won't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's when he gets a red card because he needs a break.
Yeah.
I mean, but the other question is like, I mean, was Varane fit enough to play? I mean, maybe he's not. Because Ten Hag, as soon as he never brings a guy on right after he's back from injury.
Yeah.
So, and if you look at that, Amrabat back from injury, Varane back from injury, but I mean, I don't understand. I mean, why wasn't Garnacho or Pellistri?
I was just going to say about Garnacho there. He must be getting pissed off over the last few games going, what do I need to do to even come off the fucking bench here? You know what I mean? Because like Marcus Rashford wasn't doing an awful lot in this game, in my opinion. Now, look, he worked hard and so on and so forth. But and then on the right-hand side, obviously Bruno got man of the match, but Bruno's not a right midfielder. I would have liked to seen maybe you could have taken off Scott McTominay, brought on Garnacho and moved Bruno back into the middle. You know what I mean? I mean, there are options there.
The only question is, I mean, is in training, does Garnacho just not play well on the right side? I mean, that's the only thing I can think of is in training he's not playing well on the right side. So then you have to bring on Garnacho, move Marcus to the right, and put Garnacho on the left. I mean, but in all honesty, let's think about this. Like, why is Garnacho, is he in the doghouse that he's not starting over McMuffin? Like, I mean, what is Scott I mean, is it a defensive thing? Okay, if you tell me that, then I'll be all right with it. But at the same time, it's like, because he offers nothing going forward. Like, I don't know what's going on with the McTominay that shows up for Scotland, but it's not the same guy that shows up for United.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, it's like, it's night and day. It's just like.
But I don't get this whole kind of, you either play on the left or you play on the right. You know what I mean? Like, you could understand back in the day where, wingers like David Beckham played on the right because you got the ball down and you crossed it in with your right foot. Similarly, Ryan Giggs played on the left because you got down with your left foot and you crossed it into the box. We're talking about inverted wingers now. Surely to God, Garnacho is right-footed, can play on the right-hand side. And if he does make an angle run and gets in behind, okay, the angle mightn't be better coming in off the right-hand side to take a shot and goal than it would be on the left if you're a right-footer. But, I mean, these guys are not fucking amateur players. You know what I mean? I just don't get that whole, no, I only play on the left. You know what I mean?
The only thing I can think of is if you expose Garnacho to, if he comes in and he plays on the right and he's got to cut in and he starts trying to play balls with his left, like taking good shots and putting it on frame, and he can't, now you're opening up for a lot of criticism. And, is he another Anthony where all of a sudden his left peg is just not working? Like, it's just not go. And maybe he's trying to save him from that. I don't know. I mean, I understand because when I played on the outside. When we had substitutions in college, hey, Chris, go to the right. I'm like, okay. Or, hey, Chris, go to the left. And, because coach would bring guys on and say, he's better over here. Chris, you got a better left foot than he does. So you go over there. And it's like, did I like it? No. But you do it, and you figure it out. I mean, I don't understand it. I mean, like today, like Ben said, everybody played 90 minutes and now you're not going to make any subs.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. And then Amrabat comes on at left back. Oh, mother of God.
He could do it all. Did you hear what on Peacock, the commentator said that, honestly, for Morocco, Amrabat's played everywhere for Morocco but striker.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, we'll just.
All right. He can, it's like, we finally signed a John O'Shea replacement. Thank fucking
Same number,
God.
right? No. What number is O'Shea? 4?
No, John O'Shea was
22, weren't it?
22, I think.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I thought he got a different number. No.
Yeah.
I thought he got a lower number.
Let's get through some of these comments here. Cottle says, was watching the game a bit on and off, but it's worrying how Johnny Evans was one of the best players on the pitch. But to be honest with you, I wouldn't be too worried about that because he just showed his experience, basically. You know, it wasn't that everyone else was overly bad. It's just he actually just had a really good game, in fairness to him. You know what I mean? Edward says, Amrabat arrived with a back injury, though, didn't he? He did. Yeah, he did. Dan says, Garnacho will end up wanting to leave if he doesn't play. Yeah, that's the big worry, isn't it? It really is. I'm not the right age. All right. Says, I didn't watch the game, but all I know is Rashford isn't getting goals or assists anymore. Oshin says, Scott McTominay, I've said it before, he's got what?
Nudes?
No, nudes. What's that mean? Oh, he's got Nudes. Sorry. Okay. He does. He has nudes on someone. He has a picture of Ten Hag through the window like that one. With a flash going off.
Yeah.
We're too rigid, says Oshin, too predictable. Well, talk to me about that then, guys. You know, because we seem to be very easy to play against, or is it just me? You know, like regardless, Ben, of what formation we play, or you know how we start the game, or you know we start well, and teams just then all of a sudden just say, okay, we've got the measure of these guys. We'll tweak a couple of things here and there, and the game all of a sudden becomes easier. What do we need to do to change that, really, or is it just something that will come eventually?
I think it's like what we've just said there. I think they just need to give the young lads a chance. We're predictable.
Yeah.
Man, you come to town, what team they're playing? Same team we've played all season.
And is that down to maybe depth of the squad as well, where you can kind of predict the starting 11 that Man United are going to put out every week?
Yeah, well, same as Rashford's not playing very well, is he? He's not playing at his best football, so why not put Garnacho there and put Rashford on the right?
Yeah. And is there a worry, you think, that now I know we're probably, you know, Jadon Sancho would back me up on this one, but is there a worry that maybe Ten Hag has his favourites that he will not drop? You know what I mean? Because like if you go back, and I don't want to harp back to Ferguson all of the time, but he was never afraid to drop anybody.
I wouldn't say it's his favourites. It's not his team, is it?
Yeah.
How many players are in that team that you don't want to be there, but he's got to play on?
Yeah, that's a good point. In fairness,
but look at the bench that Ferguson had too. If he's dropping, you dropping the striker, you got Teddy Sheringham or Ole Gunnar Solskjaer coming on, or if you're dropping, I mean, if you're dropping someone, you're not really losing all that much when you're bringing on that from that bench on.
Yeah.
But the problem is like, and I'll be honest, like we are predictable because, like you said, he puts out the same lineup, and if anything happens, Bruno gets thrown out to the right. So then all of our creativity in the midfield goes to the right side of the field. And, you know, and then sometimes teams can take him away because now he's stuck on the right side, you know, and everything. And I hark back to what I said the last time was we don't play through the midfield. So where's our creative players Jack, when you played, where's the most creative players?
Midfield.
Where are our most creative players? On the wing. You know, I mean, Hannibal did a good job of being, you know, running around in the midfield. But like I go back to looking at teams like we don't have a Paulo, and I know he's not a favorite of yours, but a Paulo Dybala, which he will get the ball in the center of the park and make little passes in and around the 18 to get through. We don't have anybody we don't have anybody like that. We don't have anybody, and I don't want to say technically gifted enough, but we don't have that dribbler or that person that can break down a defense through the middle of the park. Yeah. Everything's pass, and it sounds weird, but you don't have anybody that can break anybody down. Like if you watch City, Julian Alvarez can break someone down and beat them through the middle of the park. I mean, that's not his natural position, but that's what he does. Dybala, those guys, when you look at like Jude Bellingham, when you look at Real Madrid, he can break people down and he can in the center of the park. Like we have none of that. Or the guy that we want to do that, Bruno, is out on the wing.
Yeah.
And so Bruno's, I can't remember the last time I saw Bruno play centrally all game. Like and that's our problem. We like if you play against us, it's just like just let them go out wide because what are they going to really do out there? You know, it's we are right now like Ten Hag said at the beginning of the year, he wants to be the best transition team. That's basically what we are. You know, we're gonna win the ball and we're gonna transition and hopefully we score if we don't. Because we don't. When was the last time we really had a build-up play goal?
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, that's a good point because like, what frustrates me an awful lot, and we've seen it a couple of times today, is Rashford with all of the pace he has just tends to be running into, dead ends all of the time. He's running into 4 or 5 players, without getting his head up and so on and so forth.
The only thing I would say is, what if you guys can I'll throw this out there. So you saw where Hannibal was playing. Like he's basically playing right behind Højlund there.
Yeah.
Today, like when we set up Højlund, Rashford, Bruno, and then you have Hannibal. What if you took Rashford and made him play right behind Højlund and then put Garnacho out on the left? Because what do we talk about Rashford? Rashford likes to go forward with the ball. Doesn't like to play back to the ball. But if he played behind Højlund and just was able to run off of him, where Højlund's getting the ball and laying it off left or right, and Rashford can run after it, or run onto it and then take people on at pace, because that's what he's good at, running forward with the ball. Like, that's going to create stuff, and then you have Garnacho on the wing and everything like that. I mean, it's just food for thought at that point.
Yeah, I think the one problem with that is he's not disciplined enough to play central midfield. He's not disciplined enough on the defensive side of the game to stick to a structure, to stick to when you lose the ball, this is the area that you have to get into. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think that's probably going to lead that would probably lead to more, the likes of Casemiro having to do even more work or whoever it may be that's playing in central midfield. But I know what you're saying. I think on the attacking side, that would be a very good idea. But I think as an all-round game for a central midfielder, I don't think he's disciplined enough. I really don't.
I mean, you could always have, like, if Bruno's playing on the right, he can drop even, like, on the defensive side, he can drop off and then slide him, but you want him to go in the middle so he can play off of Højlund. Because right now, like, as good as Hannibal is, I don't really think Hannibal's going to be playing off of Højlund and ripping shots and doing that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Anyway, let's see comments here. It's like the good Klopp team. Everyone knows how to play against them. Now they're going through changes simply on 12, 13 options for a starting 11. So easy enough for the manager to predict. Edward says, we're missing that bite in midfield. Opposition teams this season can far too easily make our midfield obsolete. Far cry from how we finished last season. He also says, does anyone want to play Modern Warfare 2 after this? I thought the servers for that were gone. Rashford is too selfish, says Dan. He doesn't like passing. And he also says, Mount will have to go on the right with the low overlapping. So, final question to you guys before we finish up. All players are back. For example, when is our next game? Is it Crystal Palace midweek? Is it? I think. I think we're Crystal Palace midweek in the Carabao Cup. It is. It's 26, 3 days time. So yeah, they're coming thick and fast. Tuesday night we're playing. So
yeah.
Ben, give me, with all players fit, give me what team you would play. Or who would you drop or what would you change?
Amrabat's got to play instead of McMuffin. That's obvious. Højlund up top, Rashford on the left, the right-hand side, Mount if he's fit. And I'd put Bruno in there. You'd have a Casemiro, Mount, and Bruno in the middle.
Okay.
Your back four, if everybody's fit, is going to be Varane, Butcher, isn't it, if he's fit. Yeah. And obviously Reguilon if he can play on the left, and then Dalot on the right.
Yeah. Garnacho, would you try Garnacho on the right, like, or is there too much I only play off the left because I don't
He's
think I've
not-
actually ever seen him play on the right, or maybe he has once or twice.
It's the same as that though. Play him on the right, and if it don't work, him and Rashford can just swap. Do a
Yeah.
game where they swap in every 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris, what would you like to see going into this game now on Tuesday night? Like, obviously, look, we've got 3 points, so it's not as depressing as it was, last week or whatever. But what do you want to see? What improvements do you want to see?
Well, I just looked at the schedule. We play Crystal Palace back to back.
Yeah.
We play them Tuesday, Saturday.
Yeah.
But I'll go with Ben on that. I mean, McMuffin's got to go back to the bench. I want to see Amrabat and Casemiro play together. I think we need that against Crystal Palace because they got some guys that can play. I watched the game. I was watching the game. They can move the ball through midfield. So I would like to see that. I'd like to see Garnacho and Rashford have to be on the field at the same time. Whether, like Ben said it, if they just keep swapping and doing their thing, but Marcus Rashford's a senior player. Just be like, hey, we need to get this kid on the field. Let me go to the right side.
Yeah, I don't understand why we can't have a fluid front three. You remember the way Rooney, Tevez, and Ronaldo used to be. None of them had a fixed position.
No,
you know what I mean.
Well, and that's a problem. But it's you want Rashford at the left wing going against the right back because usually the right back's not as good as the left back. Typically,
Fuck you, Chris. I played fucking right back for 10 years.
I'm left back.
But that's the thing. It's and then Plestri, I thought Plestri played good against Bayern. Everybody forgets he was going up against Alphonso Davies, which is regarded as one of the best backs in the world. Yeah. And Alphonso Davies is so big that he'd take one stride and Plestri's taking 3. So it's I just think I think Garnacho and Rashford have to be with Højlund and Bruno. Bruno's got to play centrally.
Yeah, he has to. I just want to see Casemiro, Amrabat, and Bruno as 3 in the middle. That's what I want to see more than anything. I would like to see, your back 4. Obviously, it's not going. It's going to be Delors and Reguilon. Hopefully, Reguilon is not too bad with Varane and Martinez. I want to see Casemiro, Amrabat, and Bruno, and then I want to see Rashford off the left, Højlund, and then one of either Garnacho or Mount. I would like to give both of them a chance at one, in the next few games to have a go at that right-hand side and try and really make it their own because Mount has played there before. You know what I mean?
We need pace against Crystal Palace, though. We need pace.
Yeah. And is that actually, let me just double check. It's in Old Trafford, sure. Yeah, I had tickets to that. Yeah, we got rid of it. It's great because there's now a supporters club in Kilkenny, and nice. People register as official members, so you can just transfer their tickets directly to them. So it's great. So there's no.
So are you the president of the members club or what?
I am not. Haven't got time to scratch my arse. So. But I paid my membership yesterday anyway. Anyway, guys, look, we'll leave it there. I'll let you get back to doing whatever you're doing. I appreciate you coming on as usual. But look, we haven't got long to wait before our next game on Tuesday. I'll be back on Monday. I'm going to try and nab Ricey for a podcast on Monday night. He's busy. He's building a house at the moment and all that kind of stuff. So he's a busy man.
He's building it and someone's building it for him.
Well, that's it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but anyway, look, I'll be back regardless on Monday, and obviously we'll be doing the watch along again on Tuesday. We'll hopefully have the guys on again. If you want to become an official member and come on like the guys, the link is in the description of the video, guys. Please smash a like on the video, hit subscribe. I appreciate it, lads. I suppose I'll chat to you during the week. All good.
Yeah.
Have a good rest of your weekend. Ben, don't drink too many cans now and be dying in the morning. All right.
I won't.
Well, you were nursing. You were nursing those 2 bottles you had there.
No, I'm golfing in the morning, so I have to be fresh. I have to be fresh. Competition time tomorrow, so all good. Anyway, lads, look, thanks a million. I'll chat to you Monday, and enjoy your weekend.
Catch you later.
Cheers, guys.